Hi everyone, this is Nibiru Watcher. It is November 13th, 2017, and I am on the Australian Jandakot Airport on the northeast facing camera, and I've got something great for you, especially those who keep asking the question, how is it this object here where my cursor is just sits there all day? Well, I believe I have a really good theory for this. Well, before we jump into this, let's just look at this object in the time lapse on two different days of this mysterious white orb in the sky. So I'm going to click the time lapse and you're going to see something that's just not right. We'll see if we can spot what's not right with that picture. In case you missed it, let me slow that down and wind back the clock here because this is just not right. Let's go back. Now here we see this white orb here that just hangs there for days and days. Wait till you see what happens when the moon passes right through the center of it, because it confirms everything I've said. Now let me zoom in on this lovely moon here. I don't know, that looks like a 3/4 full moon to me. It's kind of dark out, right? Watch what happens. I'm gonna just play this, and I'm gonna zoom in on this moon. Now, what the heck? Are you serious? It just went full? Huh, okay, you're a full moon, huh? I'm just gonna track that thing. Oh my gosh, what is eclipsing the moon? Are you kidding me? Seriously, I thought you were full. You guys want to see that again? Why not? This time I will not zoom in. Oh, you missed it. And let me slow that down too. Pretty crazy, huh? Full moon, 3/4 full moon, partial, then like a sliver of a moon. I don't remember a moon should be doing that, do you? And notice this black smudgy thing just kind of vanishes almost into thin air. He just hangs there. Well, just hang tight, because now let's watch what happens. In fact, you know what? You got to watch that one more time. That's awesome. So let's watch this 3/4 moon to a full moon get eclipsed to almost a new moon. There you go. Outrageous. Look at that. What do you think would be blocking out the moon like that? Well, before I answer that question, let's watch. Now that was November 14th. Let's just see what happened 4 days earlier when the moon went right through the center of it, this mysterious white orb object, which I have an explanation for now. So I'm just going to let that roll through once, actually twice. You see something wrong with that? Did something obscure this thing? I mean, what happened? Let's zoom in on that. Is there something blocking out the moon? One click at a time. Let's find out. Now, it just vanishes. I mean, here we've got right over the horizon something blocking the moon already. Now, let's just a few mouse clicks and watch it vanish as it reaches the focal point of a lens array that I believe is hiding it. In fact, it almost completely vanishes as it nears and even changes sizes again because of the light distortion of the lens array. That's what it is. Look at that thing. So why would that thing shrink and almost completely hide from sight? Look at that. Where did the moon go? Is that crazy, right? Okay, so here's my theory. Okay, so here's like a little 3D cute little drawing I've made of everything that's in this system here. Is not to scale, just in conceptual drawing. I've already made other videos about this. So here we have your sun. We've got satellite dishes orbiting around our sun, gathering its solar energy, converting its light via microwave energy. Then we have micro energies rectennas that immediately convert the microwave energy to AC or other form of energy, or DC. Lasers going into the sun simulator, bouncing off like we had the patents. The light comes out, reflects off these dish, bounces off it. Another convex mirror here comes through the holes in the mirrors, bounces off, then goes on to the lens array here. This would be, I believe, the black dot that we see in the sky. And the flickering sun is due to the planetary bodies that are either in front of the solar rays, and that's what I'm hoping for, because if it's blocking these microwave energy, which are about a gigawatt of power per beam, either one would cause, that would be the direct source of energy for the lasers that are feeding the gas ionizing chamber of the sun simulator orbiting approximately 256 miles. So whether the object is out here or in these beams, microwave beams, I think they're probably in here. If they're here, we don't have much time left. Okay, with that being said, the lens array, we have smaller ones in a further orbit and larger ones in a closer orbit. That all these micro lenses are focusing their light onto the center lens. So whatever object is out here passing through focuses the light beams into this lens and then reconverges it back onto us. So no matter how much this thing moves across all these different planes, by the way, these lenses are actually, I think, are overlapping one another. This is, again, just kind of very impossible to draw this thing to scale. So as this planetary body passes through the object in these lenses, its light will be focused onto a single lens on this one, and then creating a projection-like image on the Earth in 3D. And where the light converges from these lenses is the point where light is seen. So here is an article called the Rochester Cloak. You can see this for yourself at Rochester at EDU, that the light beams have a convergence point of both lenses where they match each other, meeting at this sector. When it does, it will pick up the light and redirect it through the next one, and you can hook these up in series. And when you do that, you set up what is called a cloaking field. And so here's an array of these, when I call an array of lenses. Notice they're matching the focal point of all lights, and in the middle is where it is cloaked, called a cloaking field. The problem with this, that these are in a series, one back in front of the other, but if the object moves outside of the field of lens, then you can see the object again. That is why I believe the configuration is like this: a whole bunch of lenses and perhaps a third or fourth lens as well in this lens. So whatever object is out here, all the light is directed into the final lens, getting the images that we see. So no matter where it's positioned from here to here, it always appears still in space, and then suddenly skipping over possibly to the next lens or just disappearing. That mixed with its highly eccentric orbit as it approaches us and swings back away. And I left a video in the video archives why that is, but I believe this is why we see it apparently still in space. And I believe that absolutely validates it with the pictures that we see here, as the moon is literally bent and almost completely obfuscated. I love that word, right? Look how the light is bending through this object. What the heck was that? I mean, we'll call it a smudge on the lens, but now even the moonlight is bent as it passes through. And so what I had done is created it's on the same day, a little later that day, we can see the lenses in the lens array. Look at these round circular objects here, and we can start to see how they project the image that we see. Again, you can see this one here. We go back and we can see, if I simply scroll this back and forth, these lens arrays have been spotted all around the world, and I do believe they are basically cover 1 or 2 constellations in the sky. Look at this. And we are seeing these on cameras around the world. Look at this lenses. I believe these are the main lenses. And if we go back further in time, we may perhaps even see the lens that's directly behind this hidden object here, giving us a projection holographic image of that lens. So if you have any questions or need more evidence, go back into the archives of stunning light bending technology that JPL had put in space. And these are no ordinary lenses. These are ultra thin, I believe, that JPL had created. Just Google or go back in archives and watch it. Now, I want you to see this. Now, I know many of you, I don't even like to report on this, but this is Fernald, who had made a video showing the ice melt after the ice had melted on these cameras. That yes, we agree that some of these are water droplets or ice that's melting off the lens, and then after that has happened, we get what remains long after the lens has dried. We get 3 perfectly spaced apart. Perfect, right? You can draw an arrow right through. Perfectly spaced with a pinpoint. I believe that is just exactly how it's shaping the light, with that little pinpoint there being the focal point of light. Now, I don't even want to labor that too much, but we could see the bizarre effects of it when light attempts to pass through it. And that strange Russian light that we saw, the same thing. Look at this. Look at how the light is all bent around this. Now, Fernald has done some groundbreaking work. Again, here is another similar object from the YouTube channel, Fernald. I like to show you how this thing just appears more and more solid, even though it's still a hologram. And sometimes it does appear to be in front of this object. However, it's still there. And you may have security cameras. Go wipe that so-called smudge off, because that smudge is moving around. And since when is a smudge perfectly round? And it just gets sharper and bounces back. I mean, yeah, disappearing. Let's see how much I'm gonna, for the sake of time, I'm gonna scroll forward and see what other pictures Images has of this. And because it's more like a hologram, it will appear to be in front of this flag or object. That's why I don't like to report on stuff. It's too hard to explain how holograms work. You get too many questions. Just, you don't have to do your own research on that. But that's basically a projection, and that's why it's not the actual planet. It looks bigger than it really is. It's not there. It looks almost imperative in front of the object. So I hope this helps. With all the questions you've had about these stationary bodies that don't move in the sky, you want to call it a UFO, I tell you, I really believe that it is this. As the objects pass through the multiple lenses, all that object, it could move all at once in here, and it's still going to show stationary in this area. These little arrows, basically. Again, it's only conceptual drawings. I mean, not the scale, just to kind of give you an idea what's happening in our skies. Please copy, like, and share this video. Have a blessed day, and see you at the Lord's Supper.